The go-home show for SmackDown is in the books. The next stop is Survivor Series. But we're going to talk about everything that happened on SmackDown right here, right now. So stay tuned. This is your SmackDown review. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, maniacs all around the world? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are talking about SmackDown. A really good show. It's the go home to Survivor Series, and Survivor Series this weekend is on Sunday. It's going to be very, very interesting. Some of the matches that are lined up, some are better than others in terms of what I'm looking forward to personally, but I guess we'll get into that on this show, so stay tuned. And if you guys didn't know, right here on WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that I upload. They've got a lot of new stuff coming, like brand new programming. So look out for that. And if you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. It is thoroughly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the review. And the show started actually backstage with the Street Profits, who were basically, doing the rah-rah speech, getting everyone ready for SmackDown, and then kind of also telling us, it's to go home to Survivor Series. Survivor Series is going to be the final farewell of The Undertaker. And all of a sudden, the lights went out in the place and lightning struck, and someone with a typical Undertaker looking styled hat was coming up from the back behind Street Profits, and it was actually Big E in a sombrero. So these guys continued their jaw-jacking back and forth. Obviously, Big E representing New Day, Street Profits saying that we respect you, man, but you're gonna beat you guys at Survivor Series. Big E said, "Look, you don't have to tell me or anything like that. New Day are here in the ring," and Big E started doing his whole spiel, before the New Day come out, sort of thing. This has been pretty interesting over the past few weeks. These guys going back and forth, Big E versus the Street Profits. Obviously, I think most of us saw Street Profits versus the New Day on Twitter fleets this past week, which was very, very good to sell their match. But why is nothing happening with Big E, man? Like, why did you split him? Why did you take him out of New Day? At least he could have went to Raw. Like, I just really don't know why they've left him behind and in the back. After Survivor Series, now that he has nothing in common with Street Profits, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Big E. But anyway, we're in the ring now, and New Day came out, and New Day were paying their homage to Undertaker as well, saying that, this is meant to be his final farewell. So they started doing like Undertaker poses and stuff in the ring. They done the sit-up thing that Undertaker does, and Kofi like slit his neck and went and all that kind of stuff. Sami Zayn came out, and Sami Zayn was like, guys, why are we paying all this homage to Undertaker and all this stuff? WWE are protecting Undertaker because Undertaker chokeslammed him once upon a time in Madison Square Garden. Sami Zayn can't or hasn't been able to get his revenge on Undertaker for that. And WWE are now like quickly retiring Undertaker to protect him from Sami Zayn, which I thought was absolutely brilliant by Sami Zayn. Like, no way is that true in terms of Undertaker is running from Sami Zayn almost. But yeah, Sami Zayn, really, really good. Sami Zayn started asking New Day to leave the ring or say something nice about him, compliment a real champion, blah, blah, blah. And they got into that. And then Baron Corbin came in, and Baron Corbin was like, oh, Sami, why are you letting these guys disrespect you? Blah, 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 blah. And then Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode came in, and they were making noise like they should have the tag team championships, blah, 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 blah. This became very messy for me personally very quickly. Like, half of them, I couldn't really hear what they were saying. A bit of talking over each other. The New Day trying to turn Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler against Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin to set up a match between those guys, and then a winner can take on New Day for the tag championships. It was just a complete mess. Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler pretended like they were going to go after Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin, but turned started beating up the New Day. Street Profits ran out to kind of make the save, and of course, we all knew what was coming after that. An 8-man tag, 4-a-side, Street Profits and New Day versus Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode, Baron Corbin, and Sami Zayn. And this was a decent match. It was it is what it is, you know. It was a really decent match. The main story in the match was pitting the Street Profits and New Day against each other. It was pretty much anything you can do, I can do better. And New Day, a lot of the time, were doing really well selling the ability of particularly Montez Ford when he was in the ring, like looking at each other like, okay, like he's special, like he can do certain things. In the end, what had happened, and I think there was a part in the match as well where Kofi accidentally hit some offense on Montez Ford as well, which Dawkins didn't take a liking to. In the end, Sami Zayn was tagged in, and at that point, I realized Sami Zayn actually hasn't been tagged into this match yet. So Sami Zayn was tagged into the match and had no intention of obviously wanting to compete. Angelo Dawkins gave him the cash out, tagged in Montez Ford. We got one of those massive frog splashes, and then Street Profits picked up the win after the cash out frog splash combination. So yeah, all the champions won the match. New Day and Street Profits, they had a bit of a stare down afterwards, but there's a good mutual respect there. I think the Street Profits are going to win on Sunday. And I think shortly after that, New Day will probably drop the titles on Raw to hurt business. So yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. But yeah, the segment was all right. The promo at the beginning was a bit too long for me personally. Next up, we had Natalya versus Tamina. Now, this was after a backstage segment where Otis had been made the last member of the men's Survivor Series team, and Bayley had been made a member of the women's Survivor Series team. And Natalya was like, why can you just make people members and I have to fight for it, sort of thing? And he said, I've got one pick each, and I chose these particular people. And yeah, so Natalya and Tamina again in the ring for the last qualifying spot for the women's Survivor Series team for SmackDown. This match wasn't anything good. It was short, and it was really overshadowed by the fact that Bianca Belair was on commentary. Then she was joined by Bayley on commentary as well, who was kind of selling herself as the captain of the Women's Survivor Series team. In the end, Natalya won with a sharpshooter, and she was completely ecstatic. She was hugging Bayley, kissing the referee, like she couldn't believe it that she, after so many weeks of trying, she's finally made the SmackDown Women's Survivor Series team. And then Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan came down as well, and then all the women posed in the ring. So it looks like they're quite happy with each other. There's no dissent or anything like that in this team. Complete unity from what we can see. I still think Raw Women's team is going to win. I think this has been, especially what's been going on Raw, it's been set up completely for Lana to get the win, to be the sole survivor. So yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting. Although I do think, these guys are probably the better team in terms of individual athletes, but I think it's set up for Lana to to get the win. I thought that for a very, very, very long time. Next up, the Tribal Chief was going to hit the ring. Before we get there, guys, if you are enjoying this review, please make sure you smash the thumbs up button, give us a like. It's thoroughly appreciated right here at WrestleManiac UK, and it does loads for the channel. So whether you're watching live or you're going to watch this back, I appreciate if you smash the like button. Thank you very much. Next up, contract signing, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. This match is such a massive match in the shift of things in WWE and everything. Like, this is the biggest match they could give us. And I think this is part of the reason why Drew McIntyre picked up the WWE Championship the other night on Raw, because this is the big babyface champion versus the big heel, and their dynamic now is so good. Before, if you guys remember, they had a match at WrestleMania 35, and building up to that, it wasn't that great, It's just, I always felt like that's just a match. They wanted to get Roman on the card. Drew wasn't doing anything, so they kind of put together this little fake feud, put it in the middle of the card. It wasn't a WrestleMania worthy feud or match. but they've got it right this time. They have got it right. Nail on the head. Drew McIntyre comes out with his new WWE Championship. He takes a seat. Roman Reigns comes out, and what I absolutely loved, even before this whole segment really kicked off, obviously, you know, there's two sides of the table. Drew's sitting on this side. Roman is to sit on this side, but no. Roman tells Adam Pearce to get out of the seat. We're at the head of the table. And Roman sits at the head of the table. And it's just these little small things which just make it so, so good. And of course, there's jaw jacking. Drew McIntyre saying, you know, that I'm going to beat you. I want you to underestimate me, sort of thing. Continue underestimating me. That, yeah, you're not going to be the big dog or anything, this cocky guy that you are anymore. Roman, and he gave Roman Reigns a bit of advice, and Roman Reigns was just so cocky, like smiling and laughing through the whole thing and calling Drew the secondary champion. You know, you're only called to do things when I can't go or when I don't want to do it. That's when they call Drew McIntyre. Like, I'm the champion. This is my WWE. Yeah, you just have to watch this segment to really get, you know, for justice to be served. You know, I can't say this dialogue word for word because it was absolutely brilliant. Even the small nuances, the little character behaviors between the two of them. And when Roman was talking, what I really noticed was Drew was getting really red in the face. Like, it was like embarrassed because maybe he even knows, yes, it is true. Despite me holding what is the company's most prestigious belt in the WWE Championship, I am second to Roman, you know, with this Universal Champion. And I think that really told on Drew's face. And I don't mind it. You know, it adds to the story. If anyone else picked that up, let me know in the comments. But he was getting really red and a bit shy and embarrassed by what Roman was saying. Maybe it struck a nerve. So really good stuff, man. Roman signed, Drew signed, Roman walked out. It was really, really good. It was really, really good. I can't wait to see this match. It is a massive match. I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be the main event. I'm just wondering, any farewell they're going to do for the Undertaker, is that going to follow this match as like the main event segment, or is this match going to be the last? I guess we're going to wait and see. But yeah, Drew versus Roman. Can't wait. Top match, man. Big match, Phil. Another big match, and I guess a blow off for their feud. Seth Rollins versus Murphy. This match started with Seth Rollins being absolutely, like, he lost it. He had lost it. He couldn't believe that Murphy had basically betrayed him twice. They were calling him Judas. Seth Rollins was completely in the ascendancy. Rey Mysterio tried to get involved by taking a kendo stick that Seth Rollins wanted to use on Murphy. He got beaten up. Dominic Mysterio got beaten up. I did find it, maybe I skipped over that. Murphy came out with the whole Mysterio family, which was, I guess, is for the sake of the story. Now you can see the Mysterio family are in his corner. But yeah, Seth Rollins wasn't having it. He tied up Murphy in the ropes, beat up Rey Mysterio, beat up Dominic Mysterio, scared the crap out of Aaliyah. He was ringside and she fell down. This was really, really good. Really, really good. And you saw parts of the match where he was fighting back. Aaliyah, they kept cutting to Aaliyah and kind of showing us her emotions. Fantastic match, man. Rollins is so good, and so is Murphy. These two are like some of the two, probably, you know, if we're talking about a top 5 top wrestlers on SmackDown in terms of ability, these two are up there in terms of ability, sheer ability alone. Eventually, we saw Murphy kind of fight his way back into the match following a buckle bomb, which I didn't know Rollins was allowed to start doing buckle bombs again, but hey. He hit him with like 2 V triggers, 2 knees, and then hit him with a Murphy's Law for the win. So that's 2 losses in 2 consecutive weeks. Obviously, Seth Rollins lost to Rey Mysterio last week. He's lost to Murphy today. Obviously, we all know he's on his way out. That's a Survivor Series match, which he'll be part of, the Men's Survivor Series team. And then, you know, he's going to go off for, I guess, his paternity leave before his kid is born. So Rollins on his goodbye tour, basically. But it was really good stuff. Next up, we had Sasha Banks in the ring. The boss came down to the ring and she was to address Asuka. Michael Cole was in the ring, like conducting this interview. And Michael Cole was saying to Sasha, look, in the summer, you were Raw Women's Champion. You lost your title to Asuka at SummerSlam. Has Asuka got your number? Is Asuka going to be able to beat you again come Survivor Series? And obviously Sasha Banks was selling herself, that's not going to be the case this time. Asuka was shouting her Japanese as she does. Nobody's ready for Asuka. Sasha Banks was like, look, we don't have to wait till Sunday. We can throw down right now. Sasha Banks literally flicks off her heels. Like, you can see the action of her legs going because her legs weren't in the shot, but you can see her heels just go past her face, like flicked off her heels, and then she dropped like 10 inches shorter. But then Carmella into the ring again, attacking Sasha Banks from behind. We haven't heard no real motive of why Carmella is targeting Sasha like this. I guess it's obviously because she's champion, but since she's come back and stopped doing the vignettes, we haven't really heard from Carmella. She's just continuously going after Sasha Banks, and she made mincemeat. This was the worst of the attacks. Literally made mincemeat of Sasha Banks on tonight's show. So I think literally, I personally think that Sasha's going to beat Asuka on Sunday. And I think when she comes back to SmackDown, she is going to clean the floor with Carmella, because this has been, 3 weeks, in fact, now with no like reply. It's like Sasha's not even getting beaten up. She's not even addressing it at all. Maybe she's focused on Survivor Series. Maybe she's been focused on Bayley in the past. But when she comes back next week on SmackDown, Carmella's head's coming off. I'm 100% sure of it. But yeah, that was a pretty decent segment. And then last but not least, we had the main event on the night, which was Daniel Bryan versus Jey Uso. Daniel Bryan with his new haircut, coming back 3 weeks after that brutal beatdown that Jey Uso gave him after their match that Jey Uso won. Jey Uso continued in similar fashion on the night tonight. And he was really laying into Daniel Bryan for long periods of this match. For Daniel Bryan, this match didn't really come alive until like the last 6 minutes or so, where Daniel Bryan, like a switch flipped. We had the stomps, the Daniel Bryan stomps. We had like a back suplex off the top rope, a back superplex, in fact. It was really, really crazy. And even still then, Jey Uso kind of fought his way back into the match. Throughout the match, both men were telling each other, like, it's not personal. It's not personal. I guess that stemmed from Jey Uso knowing he had to do this for the sake of the family, the tribal chief, etc., etc. I think in the end, Jey Uso was going for like a litany of super kicks, where eventually he was caught by Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan rolled him up, and Daniel Bryan got the win. Daniel Bryan obviously went on celebrating, yes chants and all sorts. Jey Uso was sitting outside the ring, probably thinking, yeah, now I need to answer to Roman. Roman didn't come out or anything in this match, but I guess next week when we're back on SmackDown, after all the Survivor Series stuff is said and done, Jey Uso is going to get his ass whooped. I think that's the best way you can put it. So yeah, guys, that was not Survivor Series. That was SmackDown. Survivor Series is on Sunday. This was a go-home show. Like I said, a pretty decent go-home show. I wasn't looking forward to Survivor Series. I'm still only looking forward to particular matches, I would say, particular matchups. But I am looking more forward to it than I was when Survivor Series was announced. So kudos to all the men and women involved in selling their matches and stuff like that. Guys, let me know, the big match, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. I'm going to go with Roman. I think Roman has to win. I think if they circle back around to this feud for maybe WrestleMania, some way, somehow, Drew gets his win there. But I think on the night, Roman Reigns is going to beat Drew McIntyre. But let me know what you think for this match and for any other matches down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed this review, please make sure you smash the thumbs up button, give us a like. It's thoroughly appreciated right here at WrestleManiac UK, and it does loads for the channel. So hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. And like I said, New videos are coming. New programming is coming. So look out for that. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.